Hey, welcome to our explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the silent conductor behind every single click, tap, and command you make. It's maybe the most critical piece of software on any of your devices, yet most of us barely even think about it. We're talking about the operating system.
I mean, really think about it for a second. Every day, you're opening apps, saving files, connecting to Wi-Fi. It all just kind of works, right? But how? What's the invisible force in the background that's making sure everything, from your mouse click to the pixels lighting up on your screen, happens in perfect harmony?
Okay, here's a great way to picture it. Imagine all the physical parts of your computer, the processor, the memory, the keyboard, all of it, as a world-class orchestra. You've got all these incredible musicians, each one a master of their craft.
But if you just let them all loose to do their own thing, what do you get? Not music, that's for sure. You get chaos. And that's where the operating system steps in. It's the conductor, the maestro that takes all that raw potential and turns it into a beautiful, functioning symphony.
Okay, so let's get a little technical for a moment. What is an OS, really? Well, it's what we call system software, and it has two huge jobs. First, it has to manage and control all the computer's resources. We're talking the brain power of the CPU, the memory, everything. And second, it has to give us, the user, a way to actually interact with the machine. It's the ultimate bridge between human and hardware.
Right, so if the OS is the conductor, what's its job description? What's actually written on its sheet music to keep that whole orchestra in line? Turns out, it has some very specific, very important responsibilities. It really boils down to four main gigs. First up, process management. This is like the conductor pointing to the lead violinist and saying, "Okay, it's your turn for a solo." The OS decides which program gets the CPU's attention. Then there's memory management. That's like arranging where all the musicians sit on stage, making sure everyone has enough space in the RAM to do their job without bumping into each other. Next, file management. The OS is the orchestra's librarian, knowing exactly where every piece of sheet music, or in our case, every single file, is stored. And finally, device management. This is the master translator, making sure every instrument, from your printer to your mouse, can communicate perfectly with the rest of the orchestra.
You know, not every orchestra is the same, right? A conductor leading a huge symphony has a totally different job than someone leading a small jazz combo. And it's the exact same thing with operating systems. They're not one size fits all. They come in all different styles for all different kinds of jobs. And wow, the variety is just huge. You've got the old school stuff like MS-DOS, which was basically built for one person to do one thing at a time. Simple. Then you have these absolute workhorses like Linux, built to juggle requests from hundreds, even thousands of users at once. You've also got real-time operating systems for things like self-driving cars or spacecraft, where a split-second delay just isn't an option. And of course, the ones we carry around every day, the mobile OSs like Android and iOS. Okay, so the conductor's on the podium, baton at the ready. How do we, the user, tell it what masterpiece we want it to play? Well, there are two main ways we communicate our commands. So on one hand, you've got the GUI, the graphical user interface. That's the world of windows, icons, and buttons we're all super familiar with. It's like waving the conductor's baton. It's visual, it's intuitive. And then on the other side of the coin, you have the CLI, the command line interface. This is all text. You type in commands. It's like reading sheet music. You got to learn the language, but once you do, it gives you incredible power and precision. So who's using which one and why? Well, the GUI, that's for pretty much all of us, right? It's easy, it's visual. Windows and Mac OS, that's their bread and butter. The CLI, though, that's the power tool. It's for developers, for system administrators, the people who need to get under the hood and do really complex, repetitive stuff fast.
All right, we've got the theory down. Now let's meet the rock stars of the OS world, the names you definitely know and probably use every single day.
And if you look at who's running all the devices out there in the world, I mean, the picture is just wild. It's basically a two-horse race, Android and Windows. Together, they are running the show for a huge, huge chunk of the planet.
So let's break down the big players. You've got Windows, of course, the long-reigning champ of user-friendly PCs. You have Mac OS, Apple's super polished and secure system. Then there's Linux, the ultimate chameleon. It's open source, so it powers everything from the world's biggest servers to maybe even your smart fridge. And on mobile, you've got the classic showdown, Google's open and customizable Android versus Apple's secure closed-off iOS.
Okay, let's bring this all home for the grand finale. Why is this silent conductor so absolutely fundamentally important? At the end of the day, it's really this simple. Without an operating system, your computer is just an expensive paperweight. It's the very first piece of software that wakes up when you hit the power button. It's the only reason your hardware works, the only way you can talk to the machine. The orchestra is all dressed up, instruments in hand, but without that conductor, there's just silence. Nothing happens.
And that takes us right back to that core definition, doesn't it? The operating system is the system software that controls the computer's resources and provides an interface to the user. It isn't just one piece of the puzzle. It's the board the entire puzzle is built on. It really is the invisible foundation for everything we do digitally. So, I'll leave you with this one last question to chew on. For decades, the OS's job has been to manage what's inside a single box on your desk. But that's not our world anymore, is it? Our devices are always connected to the cloud, they're infused with AI. So what does that future conductor even look like? How does it lead an orchestra that's not just in one concert hall, but is spread all over the planet? Now that is something to think about.